Well, joining us now from Hong Kong, we have independent China specialist Andrew Loing. Sir, welcome to the program. What do you make of China's recent warning to the U.S.?
Well, the warning has been going on for quite some time, especially in advance of Nancy Pelosi's visit and thereafter. But then the United States and its Western allies seem to be focused on painting China into a corner because China is now seen as an existential threat to American hegemony. But on the other hand, very few of their leaders truly understand what China is all about. I mean, China is not going to rule the world. It's got no ambitions of doing so. What China wants is just to grow their own economy and improve the lives of the Chinese people. However, as far as Taiwan is concerned, of course, Taiwan has been part of China for a long, long time. Of course, this is China's red line. The fact remains that most Taiwanese people, they don't want to go to war with Beijing. What they want, most of them want, is just to preserve the status quo. Unfortunately, the United States is trying to hollow out the one China, so-called one China policy by creating more and more space for Taiwan to play, as if Taiwan was a separate country, and also arming Taiwan to the teeth, turning Taiwan into a military porcupine. And now, this latest situation where the American arms dealers are visiting Taiwan to sell more guns to Taiwanese people. Now, I must say that I don't think that Taiwanese people would necessarily want to follow American example of owning guns, and each person owns a gun, because that's not part of Chinese characteristics, whether they are Chinese on the mainland or Chinese on Taiwan or Chinese in Hong Kong, for example. So I think that this, the latest visit of the American arms dealers seems, again, betrays a total lack of understanding of China's civilization and Chinese culture. But then it also reflects the kind of very complex psychology, a mantra painting China, painting Beijing as the existential threat. When you look at it, I mean, China is not going to send its army to conquer other countries. China is not, even though China strengthens military over the Taiwan Straits, that's just to prevent Taiwan from declaring independence or preparing other countries trying to promote Taiwan's independence. As for the patrols in the China's Navy, this again because of the South China Sea and the Pacific is China's lifeblood, is the sea lane of communication for China's essential lifeblood of trade, international trade, and importation of essential commodities. And this sea lanes of communication are being encircled by Americans' first island chain centered in Okinawa, second island chain centered in Guam, and then, of course, added to the Singapore Malacca Strait choke point. So if you were in China, you would feel threatened and you would not necessarily build your own navy. But all these defensive actions are now being painted by the West as China's aggression. So again, this situation with this visit of the arms dealers to Taiwan, again, betrays a total lack of understanding in the West. So unfortunately, this feeds into increasing American rhetoric, increasing American bellicosity towards China. It's not good for the United States, not good for China, not good for the rest of the world.
All right, that was a very comprehensive answer. We're going to leave it there. Independent China specialist Andrew Loing joining us from Hong Kong.